You're watching Western Athletic Conference Volleyball on ESPN+. Saturday afternoon, the Teague Center, the LAMAR Cardinals, the Abilene Christian Wildcats. Welcome inside the studio, Coy Osland alongside Carrie Johnston. Carrie, we've got two teams both coming off losses in conference play. What are you thinking?
Today's going to be a really good matchup, Coy, because both of these teams are going to be looking to bounce back after having losses their past games, so it's going to be a really great matchup.
Yeah, two teams obviously coming off losses, not having a good start to conference play. Got a lot to figure out. Carrie, who are you looking at for LAMAR?
Yeah, for LAMAR in particular, Malaysia Murdoch, she is a junior middle blocker. Right now she is leading the team in blocks with 40, and she's also second in points and hitting percentage, so keep an eye out on her and her leading the way both offensively and defensively for LAMAR. What about ACU?
Well, I'm looking at Jada Burkle, the junior outside hitter. She's a transfer from Memphis. She's second in points. She's second in kills. She's second in hitting percentage. Been a big, consistent player for ACU, and that's what they've needed all season, is a consistent player, and she's done fantastic there. And let's head out to the Teague Center to head out to the action.
Go for it, Coy.
Here we've got Briley Steinhilber, Madison Lawler, Madison Rower, Brianna Box, Jada Burkle, Emily Van Dyke, and Braden Bosger for the Abilene Christian Wildcats. For the LAMAR Cardinals, we have Paige Duggan, Giselle Santini, Hannah Waters, Taitina Johnson, Serene Amber, or Emily Serene, and Grace Nichols. Apologies on that. We're just about ready to get underway here in Abilene. Taking a look at Jordan Lay's LAMAR Cardinals there as they get ready to go. Starters are on the court, and we're looking ready to go here, Carrie.
This is, again, going to be a really exciting matchup. As we talked about in the open, both teams are both coming off a loss this past Thursday, so it's going to be really interesting to see the fight in each team, to see if they want to climb back in and finally get their first win in conference.
Well, we said it earlier, Carrie. These two teams are very, very closely competitive. About the same level of play right here, still in the rebuilding process. Jordan Lay, his team is still very young. He's still trying to figure it out here in the second season. ACU, they've got a younger team, a lot of transfers. They've got a lot that they want to work on. They're very, very good when they play well, though.
Yes, both very young teams, but also very talented teams, and both teams have a lot of potential.
The serve from LAMAR. Big, strong strike over the net for the Wildcats. And out of bound, the point will be for the Wildcats. Looks like it'll be Emily Van Dyke serving for the Wildcats here. The serve. Big hit and knocked out of bounds there for the Wildcats, and LAMAR will get the point on that one.
That was a really nice cross there by the LAMAR Cardinals. They're really nice read on the defense, and it was good for them to take advantage of that cross.
Sam Sway's serving for the Cardinals is a big hit, and that one is in for the Wildcats. That was Briley Steinhilber. We're going to take a look at the replay here. Really good set for her, good opportunity, and she maximized that, get that in that gap there. And an error for LAMAR will give the point to the Wildcats.
First ace of the game for the Wildcats. They just came off of having a nice kill last play, and now just coming off with ace. So we'll probably see here the Wildcats trying to build some momentum.
And it's Madison Lawler serving. She's also a transfer for the Wildcats. That one was just barely in, Carrie, right in front of the line. Not much you can do about
Yeah.
that.
That was a really smart play right there, really smart dump by the Lamar offensive core, just dumping it right in that spot, right in between the two defensive players for the Wildcats.
That one hit just out of bounds. They cannot get to it in time, so that will be another point for the Wildcats. They take an early 4-2 lead here. Looks like it'll be Logan Browning coming in for the Wildcats and Jada Burkle going to the bench.
That was a nice big hit by Jada Burkle right there. We talked about her earlier, having a really good season for the Wildcats so far, so keep an eye on her as she keeps playing.
Consistent play has been a big thing for the Wildcats here early on. They needed to be more consistent. This is a big strike there with a good block at the net for the Cardinals. Another good block at the net, this time on the Wildcats end. Goes for it at the net. Good save there for the Wildcats, tipped over. Big strike, and that one is just in there. I mean, a couple more inches and that would have been saved by the Wildcats.
Yeah, that was a really good joust there at the net, going back and forth. Getting plays like that are super hard, but Lamar finally got the kill there. Got to be relieving for the team to finally get that kill after fighting at that net for so long.
The serve for Lamar. A good block there at the net for Lamar, but it just came up short, didn't get back over. That'll be another point for the Wildcats.
Didn't look like the Lamar Cardinals are getting quite pressed enough, and Brandon Box was able to use on that to her advantage and just have the ball go right down.
It'll be Emily Van Dyke again for the Wildcats serving. Good block at the net, but that one tips back and is in for Lamar.
So far we've seen, even though it's very early in the set, so far we've seen a very good back and forth game. I feel like we're going to be seeing a lot of that today, and it's just exciting to see us finally starting to get into it a little bit.
Well, Carrie, it goes back to what we were saying earlier. This is two very, very closely matched up teams. This is going to be very close no matter what happens. Very big, strong strike there for the Wildcats and the point.
Just looks like it barely tipped off the block for the Wildcats there. Just barely tipped off the Lamar's blocker's hands. Just fell right in that hole in the defense.
It'll be Brianna Box, the very, very efficient player for the Wildcats serving. It goes out of bounds to get it, saves it. Browning shoots it back over the net. Good set. Good save for the Wildcats there. Big hit back over the net. Lamar, a big hit there by Lamar to take the point. Great play, great back and forth there between these two teams. Kind of something we've seen a lot of early is that these sets are not quick and little dashes. They are very back and forth, very competitive with one another.
Yeah, I think what's going to be crucial for these teams going into this matchup is getting on runs, because as of now, they're going back and forth so far. And if a team can get on a run and start getting some points stacked up, then that could really help a team take the set.
Braden Bozier there with the point for the Wildcats on the short little tip over the net, just right into the gap, and ACU got a quick one there.
Yeah, it looked like there was slight miscommunication there with Lamar who was going to get the second ball, but a really good, smart read by the Wildcats there.
Serving for the Wildcats is Madison Rower there on that point. Wildcats once again pulling out to a 3-point lead. We're seeing a situation right now. Lamar's hitting .250, which is very low compared to ACU, as ACU gets another point that looked like a little bit of a miscommunication error there for Lamar.
Yeah, as we were just saying, Lamar's starting to fall behind a little bit. ACU starting to pick up a little bit of speed, pick up a couple points. This could be a crucial point in the match if they start spreading out these points.
Big, strong hit there for Lamar. It goes out of bounds. Big point for Lamar there to kind of stop down that ACU 3-0 scoring run. Still very early on here in this matchup. Be Hannah Waters serving for Lamar. That good block at the net, but it goes out of bounds. That'll be a point for the Wildcats. They've pulled back out to a 4-point lead.
That was a really smart play there by Emily Van Dyke, using the block to her advantage, just smacking the ball into the block and using the blocker's hands to cause the ball to go out of bounds to get the Wildcats the point. It's kind of an unforeseen way to get a point, but it's a really smart way to get points.
Serve from ACU, big block at the net on the strong strike. Another big hit, ACU saves it. Very, very action-filled set here. It's ACU and Lamar going head-to-head here, and this one keeps going, and ACU gets the close point on that one. What a back and forth right there. That was very competitive. You love to see that.
Yeah, we love seeing a nice little fun joust at the net, a little fight at the net, and then right there, Raiden Bozier getting the close right there. Big move for the Wildcats.
And Bozier, the sophomore, the redshirt freshman. She's fourth on the team in kills right now, but she is very effective there at the net, and she's really good defensively blocking at the net. She's first in the team on blocks and blocks per set. So, taking a look here at the ACU huddle, what are you telling your team right now if you're Angela Mooney?
I would just tell them to keep it up. You're starting to pick up a little momentum. You've been on a couple of little small scoring runs here and there. You're starting to piece together some points. It seems like Lamar's struggling a little bit with some communications. I would just keep telling the team, hey, let's use this to our advantage here. Let's just keep this momentum going, keep this drive going, and hopefully we'll be able to spread this out to take the win this set.
And early on here, ACU, they're hitting really well, .583, as we see the Lamar Cardinals huddle here. I hate to sound like a broken record, but what do you think they're talking about right now?
Honestly, for them just trying to piece together at least a point. Start piecing things back together one by one. Starting to make sure to communicate right, making sure not to hit balls out, making sure to be careful whenever you're tipping the ball, making smart decisions with the ball instead of smacking the ball down hard in it when you hit. Just so that you can finally start piecing some points together, being able to rally some more and be able to get that point and stop ACU in the run right now.
There's head coach Angela Mooney for the Wildcats, telling her girls what to do. So we're going to head back out here, the Wildcats serving. Big, strong swing there at the net for Lamar. Trying to track down the ball, it's off the net, and that will be a point for the Wildcats. It extended their, what was a 3-point lead to a 4-point lead, what is now a 6-point lead.
Yeah, the Wildcats are starting to get that lead, but they need to make sure not to get complacent here. 6-point lead is a good lead, but volleyball is just such a game of runs and turnarounds. Lamar can crawl right back in there, so the Wildcats need to make sure to be close and make sure to finish and make sure to play cleanly.
And that was a big play for Lamar. Amber Johnson with the kill for the Cardinals. There's Coach Angela Mooney in her 5th season, former Ole Miss assistant coach, Texas Tech graduate. What are your thoughts on Coach Mooney?
Yeah, Coach Mooney's a really good coach. I've gotten to talk to her at a couple occasions. She has a lot of potential. She sees a lot of potential in her team and what they can do. They just need to work on piecing it together, a couple of things from what she said in interviews, but she's really excited and really pumped up about her team.
A lot of opportunities for the Wildcats, as you see the kill there from Jada Burkle. Coming into the game, it seems to be Brianna Box. The serve from the Wildcats is out of bounds and a service error here early on for ACU. Coming into the game for Lamar is Grace Nichols. The serve for Lamar just got over the net, but it falls short and is a point for Lamar. (13-9). Lamar's kind of reeled him back in here a little bit. And another serve, another short one over the net. Good set, big block there at the net, but out of bounds, and another point for Lamar. So they've taken this lead that ACU has, and they've turned into their own scoring run here early on.
Yeah, this is what we were just talking about, how Lamar needs to start trying to piece things together 1 point at a time, doing the little itty-bitty things right, and then they can start trying to come back into this game a little bit. So, but then there goes ACU with another kill.
Big, great, strong strike there from Brianna Box, what she's done a fantastic job of this season. She's first in this team on hitting percentage. She's third in points per set, third in kills. She's just a fantastic offensive player for this Wildcat team.
Looks like there was slight miscommunication from Lamar there. They weren't able to get a double block there, and Brianna Box was able to use that and just hit right past the block, and ACU was able to use that to get the point there.
And an out of bounds there for Lamar will give another point to the Wildcats. Logan Browning serving for the Wildcats now. Big, strong strike there at the net. Paige Dugan. Back in, good save there for Lamar. And that one comes up just short. Fantastic play there for Lamar to get the point, stop ACU's scoring run, and maybe try to work on shifting momentum as we'll look at the replay here.
Nice save there by the Lamar defense, and then number 4 there getting that kill right just over the block, right over, just hitting that sideline right there. Those balls are so hard to get, so credit to Lamar's offense there getting that point down.
Serve from Lamar. Big strike at the net, but a good block, and it goes out of bounds. That'll be another point for the Wildcats. (16-11) here in the first set, Wildcats and Cardinals. The serve. Good strike, goes out of bounds, just a little too hard there on the strike. Another error for Lamar gives a point to the Wildcats. They're up 17-11, now they're back up to the 6-point lead.
I don't know if you saw that there, Coy, but you could see the communication there with ACU. They were talking to each other because it looked like ACU's defense was getting ready to go for that ball, but communication between the players and Coach Mooney let them know that the ball was out, so they were able to communicate that and be able to get that point.
And we'll see you back after this. Lamar ACU volleyball. ACU up 17-12 here early on in the first set. The serve from Paige Dugan. Good strong hit over the net for the Wildcats. Another one for Lamar. Another good back and forth here. We've seen a lot of these early on. Good save there. Brianna Box again, swing on that one, and the point for the Wildcats.
A lot of really good communication on both teams there. We love seeing a good rally, especially rallies like that one, just things going back and forth, and makes volleyball so fun to watch.
Box serve for the Wildcats. Hit over the net. And tipped down and out of bounds, and that will be a point for the Wildcats again. They've pulled out to a 19-12 lead now. Their biggest lead of the day, 7 points. As we will see Brianna Box still serving for the Wildcats. And into the net there for Lamar.
That looked like another hitting error for the Lamar Cardinals. That is like the fourth or the fifth one that they've had this set. Then that's really bogging their hitting percentage down. That's giving Wildcats 3 points.
That was Caitlin Gill with the error on that one, and then another error there for Lamar gives another point to the Wildcats, who are now leading 21-12 with a big 9-point lead here.
You can start to see that the Wildcats are starting to get a little bit of a rhythm, starting to get into the hang of this game. But they need to make sure not to get too complacent here, so that Lamar doesn't, for their sakes, so that Lamar doesn't creep back into this one.
Little reception error there for the Wildcats on that one, giving the point to Lamar, stopping a 4-0 scoring run. Big hit over the net there, and the Wildcats get another point. Back to that 9-point lead. Lamar was able to stop a scoring run, but not for long. They were able to really work on that one and get back into it.
Really great hit down the middle by Braden Mosher there. So far she's had a really strong game and has been able to put it away for the Wildcats.
Good block there at the net, Braden Bozier again. Strong strike from Burko is tipped and in for the Wildcats. They're up 23-13 here.
Yeah, that was a really nice slide by Jada Burkle there. Nice pass for Madison Rohr as well. Nice slide, nice cross. Really great read of the block and of the defense for the Wildcats.
What a save there for the Wildcats. Set at the net there for Lamar. Big, strong strike and stop by the Wildcats. Saved by Burkle on the outside. And that will be another point for the Wildcats there.
It looked like there one of the Lamar University players, she was in the net, which is not what you want to see whenever you're trying to stop the Wildcats from winning the set, and they're 1 point away from doing that.
So far this set, there have been 5 attack errors for Lamar. Something they definitely need to work on going into this next set, as the serve for the Wildcats is very clean and in. Big strong hit and out of bounds. ACU wins set 1 of this matchup. (25-13), ACU dominates. Hey, stick around. We're going to come back here with more volleyball.
The world needs more light bringers and courageous leaders who inspire us, game changers and risk takers who never play small, creative thinkers and God seekers who uplift us. You see, the future is ours to create. We hold it in our hearts. We mold it with our hands. We light the fire within.
In my small town, we focus on faith, family, and football. My journey of faith has defined who I am and whose I am. Knowing that, what could possibly stand in my way? I authored a book titled Life After Grace to encourage others to live out their purpose with their faith. I'm just a small town girl with bigger than the sky dreams. That's why I'm getting my degree online with ACU.
Pursue your undergraduate or graduate degree online at Abilene Christian University.
I am a wife and a mother of 4. I work a full-time job and do catering on the side to help our family make all the ends meet. For years, I've dreamt about finishing my bachelor's degree, and I finally found ACU Online. The core values of the school really lined up with my faith, and I'm telling you, it is the only way I can move forward with my busy schedule. It's possible. You can work and get your education. ACU made it possible for me.
Pursue your undergraduate or graduate degree online at Abilene Christian University.
Welcome back to Abilene Christian University. College volleyball, ACU takes the first set. Lamar had a bit of an offensive struggle there early on. Carrie, what are you thinking about this Lamar team?
Yeah, I mean, the stats stand for itself right now. They have a .086 hitting percentage right now with 7 attack errors. And then when we look at the Wildcats, they have a .625 hitting percentage with 0 attack errors. Wildcats are playing a really clean game right now. They are playing crisp. They're making sure their balls are going in. Well, on the other side, Lamar, not so much. They're really struggling with getting those balls in. And if I were Coach Lay talking to his team, I would be telling them, hey, don't worry about hitting the ball hard every single time. Trying to make some smart shots first. Try to get into those lines, get into the spots in the Wildcats defense so that hopefully we can start building some points back and start building up our hitting percentage again.
Well, Carrie, you said it. ACU, they've got 4 players hitting over 500 right now. You look over at Lamar, and it's a completely different story. You've got 1 player who's hitting over 500. you've got 3 that are hitting under 300. You got 2 that are hitting very well in the 286, 250 range. But you've got one player, Caitlin Gill, she's hitting -.22. Very effective player for this LAMAR team. She's a junior. She's first in points, first in kills, but she's also first in errors for this team. They've got a lot to work on. It's definitely a very competitive matchup still. There is still a lot of potential for LAMAR to come back. They've just got to pick up on those offensive
Oh,
struggles.
absolutely. There's plenty of open opportunities for LAMAR to make a comeback into this game. And again, if they start cleaning up their offense, if they start cleaning up those hits a little bit and trying to maybe make those smart shots that you can make, then you can slowly start climbing back into this thing and maybe start picking up some momentum and even try to pick up a set from the Wildcats.
And in their last matchup versus Tarleton State, they hit .173% as you see the serve here for the Wildcats to get the second set underway. Big, strong strike, good block at the net for the Wildcats. Braden Bozier hits that one over and it gets tipped out of bounds, and ACU opens up with another point. Not something you want to see if you're LAMAR. You don't want to let ACU get into a run. They've shown early that once they get in these runs, they're going to be really effective in how they play.
And then just to touch on Braden Bozier real quick, she's hitting 1.0 right now. She has been hitting perfectly this entire set, not a single error, and 4 kills to her right now. So she's having a very impressive game right now, so keep an eye out on her as the game continues.
And you can see her there blocking at the net. Nothing wrong with batting 1,000 as that one goes out of bounds, and LAMAR is able to tie it up here early on in the second set. Going back to serve for LAMAR will be Sam Sways. Strong strike, but a good block there for LAMAR. And that one goes out of bounds, and that will be a LAMAR point. It is 2-1 now. They take the early lead. You see the Wildcats team there. The serve for LAMAR. Big, strong swing by Jada Burkle, and a good block at the net and tip off the hand of the Wildcats. Puts LAMAR up 3-1. They look a bit different now. They're looking like they understand how they're going to play, what they want to attack at. They've come back with a better strategy. Sway serves again. Nice tip over the net there, and LAMAR can't do anything about it. That will be a point for the Wildcats off the tip from Braden Bozier.
Yeah, LAMAR's starting to pick up a little steam here a little bit. They're starting to calm down a little bit, start getting into their system, into their rhythm. So that's really good for them, and that bodes really well for them if they want to continue trying to take this game.
The serve for the Wildcats, good block at the net there. And a good point for the Wildcats as they're able to tie it back up. If you're LAMAR, you're going to want to stop this scoring run, obviously. Try to get back to what you were doing. They definitely can. It's nowhere out of hand, obviously, being tied up. Nothing wrong with that either.
Nothing wrong with that at all. It makes for a fun volleyball game.
Good set, go for the block at the net, but could not get it. Big strong strike there at the net, and she tips it over. Good, strong hit there for LAMAR. They get the point, get the lead back, and they're back in control of this.
Really good read there by LAMAR there. Really good read by Paige Dugan there. Seeing the ball coming just over and that being able to get her 2 steps up and just smack the ball down, that's a great way to get momentum if you are LAMAR.
Serving for LAMAR is Tatiana Johnson. Big hit there, good block, but it goes out of bounds, and that will be a Wildcat point. Subbing in for LAMAR will be Hannah Waters, a sophomore. And serving for the Wildcats will be Madison Lawler, the transfer. Strong hit there for LAMAR. Shoots it over, tried to hit it in that gap, but got it right out of bounds there.
Yeah, I could see the intention there of trying to get it in that spot over there. It's such a hard spot to hit. So that's definitely high risk, high reward area if you're able to hit it, but it's very, very hard to hit that spot right there at the 10-foot line.
The error for Briley Steinhilber. Caitlin Gill subs in for Lamar. The serve from Lamar. Good strong hit there by Brianna Box at the net. Another one, and she got it in there, it seems. And ACU has tied it up. Another back and forth so far here. And a literal back and forth this time.
Yeah, I feel like in this game we've seen a lot of, we've talked a lot about offense and about hitting, but also we need to give credit to the Wildcats defense as well. They've done a really good job of getting those balls up in really good positions for their setters, for their players to hit and put the ball away.
Logan Browning serve for ACU as Brianna Box hits that one right out of bounds, and a point for Lamar. They go back and forth again.
Very similar to the last set. The set started out really close with both teams going back and forth, but as the set neared towards the end, one of the teams began to really pull away, so it'll be interesting to see if the teams stay close here.
Brianna Box again there, hitting hard at the net. That one goes out of bounds, and ACU will get another point. A little balancing act here between the two teams. Very competitive set so far. You'd really like to see one of these teams pull ahead, though, and try to figure it out, as Lamar looks like they've got it figured out. Obviously not the replay to be talking about that on, but they look like a completely different team from what we saw in the first set. That one goes out of bounds and will be another point for the Wildcats, and they have regained the lead here.
Yeah, it looks like right there for Lamar, it looked like the set there was out a little too wide. The hitter couldn't quite turn her shoulder in to recover that and save that. But a good read by the Wildcats there, making sure not to touch that ball.
First time they've had back-to-back points in 6 plays in this set. Strong hit, good block of the net, but it goes out of bounds, and Lamar will tie it back up as we see this back and forth battle continue between these two teams.
Really good use of the block there by Lamar Cardinals, being able to read the hands, that they weren't quite pressing as much over the net as it should, and being able to use that to their advantage to get the point.
Lamar off the serve here, but that one is hit in and tipped out of bounds by Lamar. Another point for ACU as they pull back out in what has been a very, very competitive second set, as we're going to take a look at the replay here.
Yeah, Emily Van Dyke there already got her approach in, and a really nice hit cross court and right in the spot where the Lamar Cardinals could not reach.
Van Dyke hitting .375, so we see looks like a little bit of communication issue there for ACU, and another one there at the net as that one falls short, and a point for Lamar to tie it back up here 8-8. Subbing in for Lamar, Amber Johnson. Good set, and she just struck it right over the net with that set there. Wonderful play for the Wildcats.
That was an incredible read there by ACU setter Madison Moore right there, being able just to read that the defense was not anticipating that dump over the net at all, but hit it right in that middle spot where it's sometimes hard for the defense to get it. Nice little set right over, and they were able to capitalize off of that.
And there is a point for Lamar as they tie it back up once again. This set's been very, very interesting. We've only seen 1 or 2 real scoring runs where a team has scored more than once in the set, and it's something you love to see as ACU coming here on the attack. Strong hit by Burkle, and that one is nicked out of bounds, and it will be 10-9. We're going to take a look at the replay here.
Really good hustle there by the defense, being able to get that pass up, and right there to Jada Burkle, where she was able to finish it off right across court.
And we said at the beginning of the broadcast, Jada Burkle is a very, very effective player for ACU. Someone to watch out for, really.
Yes, absolutely. And
strong strike at the net there. Braden Bozier, the red shirts freshman. Fantastic play. We've seen her working at the net, defense and offense, all day. She's feeling it. Looks like they're having a great time out there.
Yeah. Whenever you're having a game like her, you should be smiling. And that was a really great read by Bozier there, being able to anticipate the ball being right at the tip of the net.
Bozier still hitting 1,000 so far in this game with 6 kills. shot over the net there for Lamar. Strong hit by Burkle. Short one over the net there. Another strong hit. They keep feeding the ball back to Burkle there on the right side of the court. Just tipped over. Another really, really close back-to-back with these two teams. Sets it over the net. Good block for the Wildcats. Hit hard. Very competitive serve here.
What a rally.
And that one will end in favor for the Wildcats. Angela Mooney's gotta love what she's seen from her team early on.
Absolutely. Whenever you have rallies like this going back and forth, it can get really intense. But for ACU, fortunately, they were able to keep with it, stick with it. Miscommunication there by Lamar, and ACU was able to get that momentum off of that ginormous rally we just saw.
Good block there at the net for Lamar. Set by the Wildcats. Big hit, but that one is just shot out of bounds and will be another point for the Wildcats. They have pulled out to a 13-9 lead on a 4-0 scoring run. The first big scoring run we've seen this set, and something that's been very, very competitive so far.
And honestly, I feel like it's rooted in good offense and good defense for the Wildcats. We've seen the defense hustling back and forth.
Well, hey, stick around. We'll see you after this. Western Athletic Conference Volleyball.
In my small town, we focus on faith, family, and football. My journey of faith has defined who I am and whose I am. Knowing that, what could possibly stand in my way? I authored a book titled Life After Grace to encourage others to live out their purpose with their faith. I'm just a small town girl with bigger than the sky dreams. That's why I'm getting my degree online with ACU.
Pursue your undergraduate or graduate degree online at Abilene Christian University.
My faith is a huge part of who I am, but after years of being in ministry, I just didn't feel equipped to help some families in crisis. So I enrolled in ACU's online master's program, and I finally got the training I needed. Today, I'm a marriage and family therapist with my own nonprofit counseling center. It's a privilege to listen and walk beside families as they move towards a better outcome. I feel like I finally arrived at my true calling in life, and ACU helped me get there.
Pursue your undergraduate or graduate degree online at Abilene Christian University.
ACU McLaughlin Campus Center, the bookstore. Not something you want to see if you're a student, but lovely campus center here on the campus of Abilene Christian University in Abilene, Texas. Coy Austin alongside Carrie Johnston. We're back second set. ACU leads 13-9.
Yeah, we've seen some incredible play so far in just these two sets, primarily on ACU side and especially in Braden Dozier.
And there she is again. Strong hit at the net for her. Hits it in, and it is now 14-9 ACU, and the first big scoring run we've seen in this set. We've talked about that before the break. Haven't seen a lot of scoring runs, but ACU's taken full advantage of this 5-0 one.
Yes, absolutely. They're starting to pick up that momentum. That's just so important in the game of volleyball. If you have momentum, you can go places with it. So if the Wildcats, if they keep building momentum, it's going to be hard to stop them.
And we've seen it a lot of times with ACU today so far early on, is they've taken off when they get these scoring runs, as that one will be another point for them.
Looks like Lamar Setter there got a little bit too ambitious with her dump there. Didn't quite get her hand set in time to give out the nice clean dump on that one. So another little mental mistake there by Lamar, leading to another point for ACU.
10 attack errors for Lamar so far to ACU's 3. Something they definitely got to work on if they want to get back into this one. A good block at the net goes wrong for the Wildcats, and a point for Lamar to stop the bleeding.
Yeah, at this point, Lamar needs to use this opportunity and go on a run right now. They need to start getting some momentum, start getting their offense and their defense going in order to pick up some speed and maybe try to sneak the set away from the Wildcats. Serving
for Lamar, Tatiana Johnson. A big hit by Jada Burkle, another one. She is just feeling it at the net right now. short hit over the net there for Lamar. Tried to sneak that one in, couldn't get it. They go for it again. Good set. We're seeing another really, really competitive back and forth here in this second set. Block of the net, shot over by Bozier. A good block at the net by Burkle, and Bozier ends it. Fantastic playing there from both sides. ACU is looking fantastic. Lamar's not looking too bad either. They just got to get back in this one.
Yeah, what a way to finish that with that big block there by the Wildcats with Bozier and Burkle there. Nice little team up there getting that block to go ball straight down. It's hard to save that ball whenever that block goes like that.
That will be another point for the Wildcats. We said at the beginning of the broadcast, two teams not off to good starts in conference play. That's not necessarily a bad thing. It's going to be really competitive as they take a timeout here.
Yeah, right now is a crucial point for Lamar. They need to start getting some momentum back.
Bible Building, Abilene Christian University, the chapel on the hill. Here in the second set, ACU 17-10 lead. Carrie, what are you looking at here for Lamar?
For Lamar, it's going to be extremely important for them to start getting out of their heads. It looks like they're kind of in their heads a little bit right now, especially with that last passing error off the serve. So I would just say it's incredibly important for them to start not getting in their heads too much, trying to build things back up step by step in order to get back into this game.
Well, there's a good start for Lamar right there, letting ACU make its own errors. Bad set by Madison Rower. 17-11 now. Nothing to panic about. You still got to get back in this one, but you know you can because you've been competitive this entire set.
Yes, absolutely. Lamar definitely has the capability to get back in there and play one-on-one with the Wildcats. They just got to make sure that they don't make the mistakes and let the Wildcats make the mistakes.
The serve from London Hatch is hit off the hands of Emily Van Dyke and out of bounds. Another point for Lamar. First time they've scored back-to-back in a while, something that they've got to be excited about seeing.
Yeah, this is something, again, you really want to see from Lamar, just making sure you're doing little things right, making sure that ACU is making the errors.
That one is hit out of bounds by the Wildcats, another error. It is now a 3-0 scoring run for Lamar, something that they've got to be really, really excited about seeing as another serve here is underway.
That was 2 straight aces by Lamar's London Hatch right there, so that's got to be something you want to see whenever you're Lamar's head coach.
That one will go the Wildcats' way. Something we haven't seen all day, though, really, is a lot of effective hitting from Lamar. They're very, very low at their hitting percentage right now. It's coming up. It's looking better. Just something that they've got to focus on and try to figure out here early on.
It's always super crucial for a team to be consistent on hitting. It's whenever you're not consistent with hitting, you can't get the ball over, you can't really get points by letting the team making the mistake, the other team making the mistake. So it's really crucial for the Lamar Cardinals here to start getting those balls over and in.
London Hatch playing fantastic defense there for Lamar. Good block right back over for the Cardinals. Hit over by Brianna Box, and that one is in. Another point for the Wildcats.
What a point for Brianna Box right there. Hustling there along the net, just being everywhere across the net and just getting up and big and hitting that right cross right there, right out of the Lamar Cardinals.
Very
reach.
effective. And on that last serve there, I want to talk about London Hatch. She's playing very good defense. Number 1, you'll see her there for Lamar as they get the point there and start to reel ACU back in again. It's not gone yet, but they've still really got to work to try to figure this out.
This is definitely going to be an uphill battle here for the Cardinals. They have a lot of ground to cover and not a lot of time to do it. They have to get 11 before the Wildcats get 6, so they got to slowly but surely try to climb back in here.
Big hit at the net there for Briley Steinhilder. And Angela Mooney, gotta really like what she's seeing. They've had some struggles early on in WAC conference play. Came up short on Thursday night against UTRGV in a very, very competitive matchup. But here, ACU looks to have control of this one.
Yes, if I were Coach Mooney right now, I would be very pleased with how my team is performing. They're not getting into their heads too much. They're playing really pretty clean volleyball, being able to not get in their heads, making sure they're not making a lot of errors from the heading line. They're doing a very good job, and again, if I was Mooney, I would be happy with my team right now.
So the block at the net there goes out of bounds. Both sides said they had it. Gonna find out what happens with that. We're gonna take a break. Stick with us here on ESPN+.
My faith is a huge part of who I am, but after years of being in ministry, I just didn't feel equipped to help some families in crisis. So I enrolled in ACU's online master's program, and I finally got the training I needed. Today, I'm a marriage and family therapist with my own nonprofit counseling center. It's a privilege to listen and walk beside families as they move towards a better outcome. I feel like I finally arrived at my true calling in life, and ACU helped me get there.
Pursue your undergraduate or graduate degree online at Abilene Christian
I
University.
served our country in the military for 4 years. I was a pastor of a small church where I wore a lot of hats. I was the cleanup guy, the painter, the lawn guy, the preacher. You name it, I was doing it. We got a lot of calls of people needing counseling, and I was not equipped to help them. So now I'm pursuing my bachelor's and master's degree online with ACU. Someday, I'll serve my community as a counselor.
Pursue your undergraduate or graduate degree online at Abilene Christian University.
So the point will be for the Wildcats on the challenge. 21-14 now as we are in the second set, late in the second set. Briley Steinhilber will be serving for the Wildcats.
Really good use of the challenge there for the Wildcats. Really good call there by Coach Mooney, leaving her team in, saying that the ball was inbounds, and really good time to use that challenge so that you can get the point.
A point there for LAMAR. They're trying to figure this out. They're trying to get back into it. They can still do it. They still can do it. There's time to do it, but they've got to get going now.
You got to give, one thing I noticed in this class play and over the game, you've got to give credit to the defenses on both teams, especially on that back line, seeing hustle after hustle getting those balls.
Good save there for LAMAR. Seeing liberos get a lot of work here in this serve. Just comes up short. Little communication there for LAMAR. As we see head coach coming out there to talk to the team. 22-15, not something you want to see in the second set when you're already down 1-0.
Yeah, it's going to be really hard, especially if ACU starts building some momentum here, to come back and win this game and then eventually maybe even win this match. So LAMAR Cardinals need to be really careful here to start trying to pick up some momentum. So especially heading into the third set, they can go into it having some momentum and helping them put them in a winning spot.
Defensive error at the net from the Wildcats gives the point to LAMAR. 22-16 second set. Coach Jordan Lay talking to his girls, trying to rally them, try to figure something out. Carrie, I know this is something we talked about before, as we have an injured player on the court. There is an injury here. We're going to take a quick timeout. Stay with us.
The world needs more light bringers and courageous leaders who inspire us, game changers and risk takers who never play small, creative thinkers and God seekers who uplift us. You see, the future is ours to create. We hold it in our hearts. We mold it with our hands. We light the fire within.
Sarah Nading subbed in for the Wildcats after the injury there. The serve will be from LAMAR. It will be Hannah Waters serving as we're trying to get back underway here late in the second set. Good serve from LAMAR. Good save there, and a big hit by Braden Bozier at the net. We cannot talk about her enough today.
Absolutely not. Braden Bozier has been having a great showing today, really being there when the Wildcats need him, putting the ball away whenever the Wildcats needs her to. So that's definitely something the team has needed in this game.
Big hit over and out for Lamar. That was Amber Johnson swinging there.
That's not what you want to see for the Lamar Cardinals there. I believe that is their 13th hitting error of the set. And you do not want to see that whenever you're trying to get momentum and trying to win a set.
So ACU here has an opportunity to walk away with the set, but cannot. Good effort from Lamar there. Keep the set alive, keep their hopes alive.
Nice little tool there off the block there for the Lamar Cardinals, being able to use that block, being able to ricochet that ball out of bounds. Really smart play there to try to get them back into this game.
Sam Suez serving for the Cardinals now, as that one is hit out of bounds, and a good set win for the Wildcats. They're up 2-0. ACU up 2-0. Stick with us.
Really good job at that, and they need to continue to do that.
ACU hitting 406 compared to the 061 from Lamar. Lamar does have some people who are playing very good games. Grace Nichols hitting .333. Emily Surin doing fantastic. We're trying to get some stuff figured out here so we can start the set. Taking a look at the future schedule for the Lamar Cardinals. Tarleton, October 9th. Sam Houston, October 16th. Seattle, October 22nd, facing the WAC Eastern Division. As the serve is off here and we're underway in the third set. And that one's an early point for Lamar, something they really, really needed to get here to try to figure this out.
Yes, they need to start picking up anything that they can get, any point that they can get, so they can slowly start maybe picking up some momentum. And if they want to even take a set out of the Wildcats, they need to start now.
Carrie, you said it earlier, momentum's everything in volleyball, and don't want to give ACU any momentum. They've used it very well in scoring so far in this game.
Yeah, they've done a really good job of using that momentum, keeping their composure, and using that to come out on top. So it's going to be really crucial for the Lamar Cardinals if they want to take this set, to be able to control the momentum, keep the momentum on their side, and be able to ground the Wildcats.
Amber Johnson went to go tip it over there, got blocked at the net. Point for ACU. They're serving now. The serve from the Wildcats. Big, strong hit over there for Lamar. Good block at the net, gets the point for the Cardinals. 2-1 here early on. They're looking like they know what they're doing. They're looking like they're ready to go as we take a look at the replay here.
Yeah, really good block, really good read there by the Lamar defense there.
Serve from Lamar. Big, strong strike there by Jada Burkle. Great read her on the rebound there to tip it in. We're going to take a look at ACU's future schedule. They've got Tarleton coming up, then Dixie State. Two teams that are going to be playing Western Conference opponents here in the future. Something that we like to see here as this point is underway itself. And a good block at the net by Brianna Boxon for the point from the Wildcats.
Now here comes the Wildcats, starting to maybe pick up a little bit of momentum, starting to get two really quick points back to back off of a big hit and a big block. If you're Lamar, you got to stop them now.
Well, we've seen it so far from the Wildcats. You give them an inch, they'll take a mile as that point goes in for Lamar. You do not want to let ACU get the opportunity to run away with this one, because they have when they've done that today.
Yes.
A Lamar team that has not scored more than 20 points here in the first two sets early on. Serve from Lamar, and a big strong strike on blown coverage there for the Wildcat defense, and Lamar gets a good opportunity. Tatiana Johnson will go back to serve now for the Cardinals.
When you're the Cardinals and you have a ball right there at the net after an errant pass, you got to take advantage of that, and they were able to take advantage of that and be able to use it. And now they're starting to pick up a little bit of momentum there after getting that nice friendly little bounce off of the net.
That one got tipped over the net there just a little bit. Good and in for Lamar. So we see them really trying to work their way back into this one, and they look like they're doing very well at that. Big, strong hit at the net there for the Wildcats. Returned by the Cardinals. Brianna Box again there at the net. Jada Burkle tips it over, and it won't, and it is good. Wildcats get another point there, try to come back in here and tie it up. 5-4 now as we take a look at the replay.
Yeah, very smart decision there by Jada Burkle there, just tipping it right over the net in that open spot where the defense didn't have coverage. They were reading like she was going to hit cross, but she instead tipped right over the block there going line and really had the LAMAR defense on their heels on that one.
The serve from Browning blocked the net, goes out of bounds, and another point for LAMAR, looking like a completely different team here in the third set.
Yeah, they're playing with, if they weren't already, they're playing with way more urgency right now, because for right now, for them, this is do or die. If they don't take this set here, they're done for the afternoon. So for them, they're playing like their game depends on it, because it really does.
Win now, they have to, they don't have a choice, and they look like they're going to. Good tip over the net for Brianna Box. Hit by Paige Dugan back over the net, set by Logan Browning. Strong strike by Briley Steinhilber. And ACU gets a point. They're still back in it. They haven't let LAMAR run away with this one yet.
Let's just take a look at this hit here, because this is just a beautiful hit on the line. Just, again, the LAMAR Cardinals were reading like she was going to go cross, but she was able to turn that hit right down the line. Such a beautiful hit right there.
Good block at the net, goes out of bounds. Another point for LAMAR. They're up 2 points now. And Carrie, going back to that replay, you're trying to hit over those defenders at the net there. What do you got to do to try to angle that ball back up over them?
Yeah, a lot of it depends on shoulders and angles. So if you really want to be able to like try to hit line, you got to use your abs and your shoulders to really just flex that to try to turn it back in.
LAMAR gets a block at the net that gives them the 3-point lead. 8-5 here in the third set. LAMAR's got to survive, and they're doing a good job of it.
Yeah, when you're LAMAR, you really want to try to slowly but surely try to get that lead, because, and they're starting to have a really good start to do that.
Coach Lay's team has come out, and they've looked completely different here in the third set, even from what they looked like in the second set. Another point, a 4-point lead here. See Angela Mooney and Coach Lay going down there to talk, and it will be a timeout here in the third set in a matchup that's not going the Wildcats' way from what we've seen all day today.
Yeah, the Wildcats are in a very different position than they have been this whole set, like you just said. They have been on the offense now and trying to being ahead, but now they're on the defensive and they're trying to be able to stop this drive. So it's going to be very critical here for the Wildcats to be able to come out of this timeout, earn a couple points, get the momentum back if they really want to take this game in 3.
So the Wildcats trying to talk this one through, trying to figure out what could go right, what could go wrong. You're down 4 points. You obviously want to be leading this one here late. And we've got football next weekend in Abilene, Texas. It'll be these two teams, LAMAR and ACU, playing here. Homecoming for the Wildcats, big game all around. Two teams that are trying to see what they can do. As you see Abilene Christian Stadium here, Wildcat Stadium with the new WAC logos put on there. Looking forward to a close matchup there.
And their last game for football, Wildcats took it 56-0. So with homecoming coming up, it's going to be interesting to see how that game will turn out for both the Cardinals and the Wildcats, but this time on the football field.
Caitlin Gill back serving for LAMAR. That one goes out of bounds and is a point for ACU as they stop the 3-0 scoring run there for LAMAR. Try to get back into this one.
Really good communication there by the Wildcats, the team talking to each other to make sure nobody gets that ball as it was heading out of bounds. So really good communication for the team.
One just tipped over the net. That one hit back out of bounds, and ACU's got them a little bit of a scoring run started here. We've said it feels like 1,000 times, sound like a broken record when we say it, but if you give ACU the opportunity to get a scoring run going, they will use it to their full ability.
Yes, they will.
Set over the net by the Wildcats. Good block at the net. Two people we cannot stop talking about right now. Braden Bozier and Sarah Nading. Just good defense there for the Wildcats.
Really good read. They got Sarah set the block really well there. That's a really good way to pick up the momentum, especially when you need it after being down like that. Beautiful block there by the team.
And there is what looks to be another point for the Wildcats. They've tied it up. What was now 9-6 is now 9-9.
Yeah.
They're tied.
The ball just came off the antenna right then and there, but this is what the Wildcats need in order if you want to take it in there. You got to start doing little things right and getting that momentum back, which was slowly heading towards the Cardinals, but now it's starting to edge towards your direction.
Serve for Brianna Box, but a little bit of defensive communication there gives Lamar the point. They're back with a 10-9 lead, but what is looked like a little bit of a runaway there for Lamar has been pulled back in, and now we've got a really competitive match.
Yes, and we love seeing a really nice competitive match between two teams that are equally I can't talk, and being able to compete really well together.
Very competitive serve here between these two teams as Bozier punches it over the net. And that one is hit in, and that is good for Lamar. They're back up with a 2-point lead. 11-9. This is a team that in their first set only scored 13 points, and here they are leading 11-9. Third set, good opportunity to get back in this. And a good block at the net gives them another point. They've pulled back out, 12-9 lead. 3 points for them have made a big difference in momentum. They look like they're in control of this one.
Yes, and again, volleyball is such a momentum-driven game. If they keep pushing that momentum as much as they can do anything they need to do.
ACU stops the scoring run there. Emily Van Dyke with the hit and the point for the Wildcats. Going back to serve now is Sarah Nading. A serve. Looks to be out of bounds, a service error for the Wildcats. Puts Lamar up 13-10 here. Coming in for Lamar is Hannah Waters to serve.
We've been talking about today Lamar's hitting errors, but for the Wildcats, they've been struggling from the service line. That was their 5th service error there. They had a slight miscommunication there. Now, Lamar's really starting to pick up some momentum here, and it's up to the Wildcats right now to put an end to that momentum.
Braden Bozier tried to tip it over the net there, got into the net, and another point for Lamar. 4-point lead for them. Big, strong swing over the net there for the Wildcats. Good block at the net, hit back over, and that will be a point for the Wildcats. What'd you see there, Carrie?
It looked like a lot of things. It probably could have been a lift on the behalf of the Lamar hitter there. It could have been a back row attack. I didn't quite get to see what the call was there by the ref, but it did look like something was wrong there, so it was a good call by the ref.
Emily Van Dyke now to serve for the Wildcats, the sophomore. Set by Lamar, big strong swing, gets hit out of bounds. Paige Dugan again, working on that hitting percentage, getting it back up. She has 7 kills so far today, and Lamar now with a 4-point lead and what was not looking too good for them there for a little bit. Jada Burkle there getting the point for the Wildcats, trying to keep them in this. It's only a 3-point lead. This is still anybody's game, but Lamar has looked very, very good here in this set.
Yes, they have really turned it around versus the past 2 sets, so it's going to be really good to watch to see what team will be able to pick up some momentum and what team will be able to come out this one on top.
Madison Lawler serving the graduate transfers. There is another error for the Wildcats into the net and another point to put it back up to a 4-point lead for Lamar. Going back to serve now for the Cardinals is Tatiana Johnson. Set and a big hit from Burkle again. And that one comes up just short. Something that we've seen in the set from the Wildcats is they're not able to get the ball over the net every now and then, it seems to be. couple errors, maybe something to work on here late as Lamar's up 5 points.
Yeah, it looks like the defense is starting to struggle a little bit. Getting a problem. The setter is getting a little bit of problems of getting to the ball just in time, but and Lamar is taking full advantage of that.
ACU going for a big block of the net, couldn't get it. Still keeps it alive though. Burkle tips it over the net. Big, strong swing from Paige Dugan goes out of bounds. Coach Jordan Lay trying to calm his girls back down, try to keep this big lead they've built here. This is a team that the max points they've scored this game is 17 in the second set, and here they are leading 17-13, complete flip of the script so far.
Yes, one has to wonder what Coach Lay said in between the second and third set, because this team has really turned around.
Another one, Logan Browning trying to chase that one down, not gonna happen. Lamar 18-13 here in the third set. The kill there for Amber Johnson. Going back to serve now for Lamar, London Hatch. The serve from Hatch is out of bounds and a service error from Lamar. They only have had one of those other than that one now. Something that ACU struggled with. They got 5 so far in this game.
Yeah, serving is very, very crucial whenever you are trying to get points racked up on the board. So you really need to make those serves in order to make sure that you're able to keep yourself on the board.
The serve from Steinhilber with a good block of the net there. A good save for the Wildcats. Another good block at the net. Very good defense we've seen played this set so far from both sides. Good set, strong swing goes out of bounds from Brianna Box. And Lamar is back in here 19-14. We're gonna take a look at the replay here. It's a little bit too much on that one, Carrie.
Yeah, just a little too much. The Wildcats need to try to see if they want to win the set, they need to calm themselves down, take a deep breath, and just get the ball in court.
ACU trying to stay in this one, and a big strong swing there as they look like they're trying to get momentum back on their side. They're definitely fired up. They're really feeling this one right now.
Really strong hit there by Emily Van Dyke, just getting nice approach and nice line right down where the Lamar defense wasn't covering.
Serving is Brianna Box now. Set over the net, saved by Logan Browning. Box went for it, could not get it back over the net. Something she seemed to have struggled with here in this third set so far is there's a 5-point lead now for Lamar. They've broken 20 points for the first time today, and they look like a completely different team from what we saw early on.
Yeah, you can really see, especially by watching this set, how much momentum can change the way your team plays. Whenever you have momentum, whenever you have that energy, it really brings something that is hard to bring from talent alone.
Tries to hit it over the net, goes into the net. ACU still in this one. 4-point lead for Lamar. Definitely together to talk here late. 20-13. It's they're a little out of it, but what do you got to say about Lamar? What do you want to do here? You know, you're not down much. I mean, it's still a little bit out of hand, but you got a chance you could still do it. It's very, very feasible.
You just got to go back to what you were doing in the third set. Doing the little things right, making sure you have clean heads, making sure that you're communicating really well with your teammates, making sure that the other team is making the mistakes, because whenever the other team starts making mistakes, then you can start piecing together what you can personally do to help put balls away. So it's going to be really crucial for Lamar here to make sure to get back to where they were whenever they were playing in the third set.
So here we are, ACU with a very good chance here to really run away and win this matchup. Defense been a very big player here, but ACU's offense is back rolling. I mean, we've said it 1,000 times. Bozier, Box, Steinhilber, Burkle, all playing fantastic games. The serve for the Wildcats. Hit and in. Good point for Lamar there. Very good. Maybe maybe something that can shift the momentum. Going back to serve Paige Dugan. What do you got to say about that point, Carrie?
Yes, coming out of a timeout, it's really important in order to start building momentum to have a really strong point for your team. And so by Lamar getting that point, nice, quick, one out with a nice big hit in the middle is really important for this team to get back on track.
Strong swing, another point for the Wildcats, 21-14. Now the Wildcats just 4 points between them and a match win and first conference win.
Yes, if you're the Wildcats, you got to be excited right now, but you got to make sure to finish these 4 points out strong and finish the job.
The serve from Madison Lawler, the graduate transfer, back and just in. A great point there for Lamar. Something we've seen with them all day is when they do get kills, they're very, very close. They're going to be as close to that line as you can get, and they fall a lot of the time for them.
Yeah, again, so hard to get those balls right at the end of the baseline there. So hard to get those balls, so hard to read that for the defense. And so kudos to Lamar to being able to get those balls right there.
The serve from London Hatch is received by the Wildcats. Good block at the net for ACU there. Very, very good tip in there too by those two at the net. Another point for the Wildcats now, 22-15. They've really, really pulled away, and they look like a completely different team from what we saw in set 3.
Really good reads there by the ACU defense, being not just there, but just this entire afternoon, being able to read where Lamar is placing the ball and being able to get their hands up in the net and making sure that they're able to block this ball.
The serve from Browning. Good strong hit, tipped off the net, but a good save by the Wildcats to get the ball back in control. Good dive in there by London Hatch. Little tip over there for the Wildcats. Another really good back and forth. We've seen quite a few of these today. Good block at the net, shot back down, but saved by Lamar. A strong swing, but could not come up with that one. ACU leads 23-15 now. It's a great play there, Carrie.
Yeah, you can see ACU's dominance here at the net, getting the block right there, having Lamar have to scramble, and then right there, Steinhilber being able to hit the ball straight down. It just shows ACU has really dominated the net this game.
The blockers have been fantastic for ACU. I mean, even with them having to bring in Nadine, but she's done fantastic coming off the bench midway through the game. Good block and a strong swing. Nothing much there. Shot back over the net by Lamar. Got to tip it over. ACU with control here. And that one's going to go out of bounds. And another point for the Wildcats. Now 1 point away from their first conference win of the season.
Yeah, right there. Really good hustle by the ACU offense, making that work. Really good hustle by the ACU defense, specifically Logan Browning, who's getting ready to serve this point right here. Really good hustle for her, getting those balls and keeping the ball alive for the Wildcats that
And Browning, who we've seen very effective serving for Wildcats today. Very big chance to walk away with a victory here for the Wildcats. Now a big swing from Brianna Box is tipped back, and Lamar still in this one, but a good block at the net and miscommunication, and that's the game for the Wildcats. They get the win 25-15. They win the match 3-1. What a matchup there. We saw Lamar look like they were going to come back. They flirted with it. Hey, thanks for joining us. Coy Oslin, Carrie Johnson, Western Athletic Conference, thank you so much for joining us.